Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 51 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Elon Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co-host.
Nicholas DePasco. Every week, we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week, we're going to be giving you our review of The End of Oak Street, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, let's pop in, where we run through the biggest movie stories this week. What's up, guys? Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This is a big episode for a lot of reasons, a lot of crazy news to talk about. But mainly from the day of recording, this is the 1 year anniversary of our podcast.
Hell yeah.
1 year ago today, we dropped our first episode. It was our review of Nobody 2. And since then, we've released 50 episodes, with this being episode 51, which is absolutely crazy. So thank you to everyone that's been listening. Excited to keep going, and I don't see us stopping anytime soon. I'm having a great time. How are you, Nick?
No, absolutely. I mean, I really can't believe we've made it through a whole year, and I can't wait for even more years after this, bro. Let's go strong, let's go heavy, and I
Hell
can't
yeah.
wait to talk about more movies in the future, bro. Secret
Hell
Wars,
yeah.
whatever else is coming up. The eventual DC versus DC Marvel crossover when they start losing money
It's
and they
coming.
get desperate. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
having a
yeah,
great
yeah.
time recording this podcast with you, and it's been a hell of a good time, bro. I'm just excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and other than that, yeah, I've just been chilling. Right now, I am back hometown, so I've just been like chilling with fam, and I'm about to see you in a few days, so that's gonna be hype.
Hell
And
yeah. Super
um,
excited.
hell yeah, hell yeah. And how have you been along these past few days, week?
Yeah, chilling. Just moved into my new apartment, so I've been getting settled. Going back to start my job. Well, continue my job again tomorrow. Have I took like a 6 week break to go home for the summer, so I'm gonna continue. And yeah, pretty excited for you to come. It's gonna be great. And yeah, crazy that it's just been a year.
Hell yeah.
Let's get right into it. We have a lot to talk about. So I'll start with the box office. There's something else I was going to talk about just now, but I guess I'll touch on that after the box office. Here we go. This weekend total, we pulled in a $161.1 million, which is up 55.3% from this weekend in 2025, but down 23.5% from last weekend. Uh, surprise to no one, Spider-Man Brand New Day was number one, and it's again its third weekend. Pulled in 70 million domestic, which was only a 51% drop from last weekend, which means the total domestically is 785.8 million, and globally it passed the 2 billion mark this past weekend, became, I believe, the eighth film to ever do so, and currently it's at 2.022 billion dollars. Yeah, so here we go. It's the eighth member of the $2 billion club, and it did that in 17 days. Second fastest to ever do it. Only Endgame did it faster. It's officially Sony's biggest movies of all time. It passed No Way Home, and I believe it just passed Infinity War. But where I'm reading from is a little bit older, like a couple hours behind, or maybe even from yesterday. So it doesn't say that, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere else that it's passing Infinity War today. So dude, it might pass Endgame. There's really not much competition in the month of August. I don't see anything stopping it down. It keeps going. So
Do you know how much time
I
it
don't
took
know.
Endgame to reach 2 billion? No, right?
Let me see. How long did Endgame reach 2 billion? 11 days. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's crazy. Yeah, that's
That is
insane.
crazy. Oh my god,
I mean, it makes sense, bro. You think Doomsday's about to do that numbers? Them numbers? Probably not.
dude! I saw that it's tracking higher than Brand New Day. Like the
Really?
ticket sales are tracking higher than Brand New Day. Yeah.
I mean, it really comes down to, I think of a lot of, I mean, it's silly, it sounds silly to say, especially for a film like Spider-Man, but I think a lot of what helps Spider-Man now is the word of mouth of like people saying like, oh no, this is an actual good Spider-Man movie or an actual good movie in general. Listen, I know I sound like I'm hating. I know I sound like a straight op for Avengers Doomsday, but I straight up don't think it's going to be as good as Brand New Day or anything else. So
I'm
I
not saying
think,
it's gonna be as good. I said it
no, I
was it was
know.
tracking. more financially.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's just like the beginning hype. I think as soon as the movie comes out, we'll see maybe a change, or maybe not. Maybe it will do better than both Brand New Day and Endgame. Who knows? But I think it really comes down to that initial release when that word of mouth, when the initial critics drop and the initial
Yeah.
word of mouth drops. We'll have to. That'll determine the future of how well and
Uh-huh.
Doomsday does financially.
Okay, I have the statistics of the tracking, so I'm just gonna
All
read
right.
it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Avengers Doomsday is tracking toward $100 million in pre-sales alone, and a $1 billion plus global opening. That's outpacing Spider-Man Brand New Day by 67%, and
Mm.
it could open to 400 million plus domestically, which would beat Spider-Man Brand New Day's record.
That's yeah, that'd be insane. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, right. That would be fucking insane. We'll see, right? I'm very curious. I'm very very curious.
Very hyped,
Uh, num-
regardless.
Number two this weekend was The Odyssey. In its fifth weekend, it pulled in 23.2 million domestic, which was a 27% drop from last weekend. Domestic totals 504.7 million, and the global total is 1.29 billion. It's held the second spot for 3 straight weeks ever since Spider-Man dropped.
Mm.
It opened to China this weekend for the first time to 36.6 million. And another statistic from this weekend is that it became the first film to ever pass $300 million on IMAX screens alone, which is crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Right. Crazy. Let's see. Rounding out our top three is this week's review. The End of Oak Street. It pulled in 21 million domestic, 47 million global on an $80 million budget. Um, you know, not too bad, but not insane either. It's just now it's a crazy time in the box office for anything that's not Spider-Man Brand New Day and The Odyssey. You're really not going to make much. Like the movie we reviewed last week, One Night Only, it only pulled in 2 million domestic this past weekend.
Mm. The other thing I was considering was End of Oak Street is like a family film, and the theaters are kind of a little bit oversaturated with family films because we have Spider-Man, we have like Paw Patrol,
Yeah,
we have like I know I'm missing others, but like other films, and so just kind to put End of Oak Street there is kind of weird. I feel like it would have maybe done better on a slower release, like maybe like early October to November time. But also, I'm not entirely surprised because the title kind of sucks. The marketing was ass, especially with that like AI dog controversy that happened like a few days ago, and like other shit. It's and also just like it being the film that it is, directed by Robert Mitchell something. Um, we'll get his name right
David
eventually.
Robert Mitchell.
Yeah, David Robert Mitchell. His films have never really done well in the box office. Other than his films, he's always been more of a cult director, more than anything. Especially with Under the Silver Lake and It Follows. I don't think anybody expected this movie to do like gangbusters. I just think they could have released it at a better time and it could have done a little bit better. I would like it to make back its money, but I also see this being a bigger success like when it hits streaming or like. Yeah,
Yeah,
when more people get
I can
when
see
it's
that.
easier access to see.
I just feel like anything dinosaurs that's not Jurassic Park never really makes money.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, there is space for it. There's room. I just you have to hit the right note, the right time. I also don't know if this movie was like. I mean, we'll talk about it more when we actually talk about the movie, but it I don't know. It's weird. We'll just talk about it more. I feel like if I talk about it right now, then we'll just get into the whole thing. So we'll just move on.
Yeah. All right. So let's move into news. I'm gonna touch on things that are not D23, and then we'll get into D23. Um, Unfortunately, I have some not the best news to talk about right now. It was announced this morning that Hayden Panettiere passed away at the age of 36, which really sucks because she has publicly spoken about a bunch of like struggles of being like a childhood actor and drug addiction and alcoholism and all these things. And it was reported that they found like Narcan at the scene of death. So it looks like she overdosed, which is really really unfortunate. I think she was really talented. Obviously, I know her best from Scream. She played Kirby. The best part of
Okay.
The best part of Scream 4, in my opinion. She came back in Scream 6 as like the as part of the FBI. Um, there was so much room left for her to keep appearing in that franchise, and also just in general, she's like a talented actress. She's been in a lot of things, and it's just always unfortunate whenever someone passes away, especially on a like that. You know what I mean? It's very sad. It's very unexpected. I saw a lot of people on my social media mourning her loss because I feel like she's a person that affected a lot, that has impacted a lot of people with her work.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really know about her before today. I did watch her in Scream, and I didn't even realize that she was in Scream. But just in general, what I remember from her in Scream, she was actually quite talented, and just 36 is a crazy young age for her to go, and like you said, in such a tragic way. I heard that it was like cardiac arrest. I had no clue about like the drug thing. That's crazy. It's just tragic overall, and
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know, so sad.
yeah. I that convention I was at in February this year, like she was there, and I was literally sitting at the Scream 4 panel. And so it's crazy. Even though it's not someone I don't know personally, it's like someone I've seen, and they're dead, which is crazy. I really think it's unfortunate. I've seen a lot of people saying like disrespectful things online, and it's just like people are so tone deaf to uh, other people's tragedies. It's very unfortunate. Although like I said, I also did see a lot of people giving her a lot of love, and her family. I know that she did leave behind a daughter, which is very tragic for her.
That's insane as well.
Um, I plan to watch Scream 4 tonight to honor her legacy.
Yeah, it is kind of
Um,
crazy to see her like literally on the poster behind you, in the face cam, in the Scream 4
oh my
poster.
god, yo, I didn't even think about that. That's
Dude,
crazy.
that was crazy. But yeah,
Um,
tragic.
so yeah, so just wanted to mention that honor her a little bit, whatever we can through this podcast. Not the biggest honor in the world, obviously, but
This episode
or
is
you know what,
dedicated to Hayden Panettiere. I
Panettiere,
hope
yeah.
it's yeah.
Um, all right, let's move into the announcements. So, one thing I found super interesting is that a
Mhm.
Jeff the Killer horror movie is in the works, um, from TikTok creator Savannah Moss. So this is another one of the backroom effect movies that we've seen. Like the Mandela Catalog. Like, what was the other one? Do you remember what the other one was? It was Mandela Catalog and
Siren Head.
Siren Head. Yeah. So this is the next one. Um, I like Jeff the Killer. He's cool. You know. I
Jeff the
mean,
Killer was actually one of the only creepypastas that actually like scared me as like the actual image. Like I was like, I can't see that, I can't see that. So now I'm a little stronger. Now I'm a little braver, so I can watch it for at least 2 seconds and then not pee my pants. But yeah, no, I mean, listen. These stories have existed on the internet. People have interpreted them and like molded them in so many different ways. At this point, I'm honestly surprised it took this long to begin with. Um, Whatever.
that
I'm
is really
into it.
true. That is really true.
Yeah, like I'm into it. We'll have to see. There is a weird potential for a Jeff the Killer. Do you know like the OG story of Jeff the Killer?
Dude, I haven't heard it in years. Like I did, but like I couldn't tell you a thing about it anymore.
It's just silly to think about just because like we don't know obviously if they're gonna go with that or if they're gonna go with like something else, but it was like such a corny ass story about like him being like a kid in like a family, and then he gets like bullied, and like he gets like bleach on his face, and that's why he has what he has and whatever. I don't
Oh my
I hope they
god,
don't go with
that's so
that
great.
story. It's an awful story honestly, but
I pulled it up. I'm gonna read this after that we record.
all right, but but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what that turns out to be. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, that's great. Okay, so yeah, so that was number one. Number two, this is something I was really, really excited for. We knew that It Will Come to Derry. They have 3 seasons in the tank.
Hmm.
That was the plan. They've been developing season two, and now it has officially been greenlit at HBO. So they're working on that, and also I believe gave another update on the It supercut, like the supercut of chapter 1 and 2
Yeah.
that they're working on, like the 6 hour cut of it, and it's still in the works. So that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that.
What is
So
there? I'm sorry, but what is there to really work on? It's you just edit both films together, right?
well, they're
Like,
they're they're filming new scenes and stuff. Like they're adding to it.
oh, how? Those kids are old as fuck now. I don't know.
I mean,
I maybe with the old
I don't
actors or
know.
something.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know, but I would love a supercut. That'd be really really cool, like a Snyder
Yeah, I'm
cut.
into it. Yeah, that'd be wild. Like a 3 hour, 4 hour version of it chapter of both it films. I mean, I enjoy those films. Those were great. So
I love those
why
movies.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it Welcome to Derry surprised me with how good it with how much I enjoyed it really. So yeah, just give us more it. Honestly, don't anything to distract. Whatever the director's called, I forgot his name. Uh,
Andy
yeah,
Muschietti.
anything to distract him away from Brave and the Bold. I'm for. All right, we can delay that movie a little bit more. All right, if it's still even
I
being
have the
made.
log line. I have the official log line, by the way, for season 2. Let me read it.
Yeah, for sure.
In 1935, during the Great Depression, a bloody massacre takes place for the Bradley Gang, which is a group of bank robbers who stop in Derry to buy ammo and end up facing unimaginable horror. So, we're really excited.
Interesting. All right, cool. I'm into it.
Yeah. All right. So, lot uh, happened at D23. I'm going to talk about the things that particularly interested me. And then if there's anything that you want to throw in to the conversation, Nick, you can do so
For sure.
afterwards. Um, like I predicted, like a lot of people predicted, but I do want to take some credit. Have been saying for a while now that D23 we're getting the X-Men cast. Have I or have I not been
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah, for sure. No, you really called that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah. So I just want to say I'm very, very happy that I was right because I feel like I would have felt really, really stupid if I wasn't. But we have, I don't think this is the full cast, but we have the cast that was signed by the time of the event. Um, they told us that this cast met for the first time backstage, so I can almost guarantee you these contracts were signed this week, or like, I mean, the event happened on Friday, so last week.
I mean, with some of
Um,
these people, like you can tell that they got them like fresh off whatever their last. I'm mainly speaking about Indy Navarrete here. Like I did see a tweet to spoil it real quickly. I did see a tweet that was like Indy Navarrete, like you don't want to make a real movie first, and it's like low-key facts, bro. Like they're immediately gutting her from like her first blockbuster. Like all right, she can do whatever she wants. I'm sure she'll have a lot of potential in
yeah,
the
I
future
mean,
for sure.
listen, Michael Johnston got Mummy 4 and she got X-Men, so I mean, I'm happy for the both of them.
Yeah, for sure. And then
So we got like the X Men cast together for the first time. We have a release date. It was that May 2028 release date. Um, and here's who we have. We have Christopher Abbott as Professor X. Kit Connor as Cyclops. That was Rick reported on earlier that week. We have Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. She was the one who announced, who introduced the whole X Men part of the presentation. They brought her on stage, which must have been like a really really cool moment for her. Indy Navarrete as Rogue, which I feel like is probably the most surprising one of the night. We got Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister, and then Maya Boyd as Storm. Nick, I'm gonna let you go first. What do you think?
yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they actually managed to lock down Adam Driver, and I'm happy. Like honestly, you can tell that this is the only Marvel film he's going to be in. They're probably going to kill Mr. Sinister off, or at least like not really have him as a major supervillain following, just because like they struggled so much to get Adam Driver to begin with. Like they were trying to make him be in other movies as well, like throughout the years as MCU. But honestly, Mr. Sinister's a perfect role. He's like honestly the most excited for actor that I am in this whole cast. Christopher Abbott is also an interesting pick for Professor X. I saw him in Poor Things and I thought he was great. So, and there's also a film called Sanctuary that I have not seen, but is also quite interesting to me. So that'll be interesting to see his interpretation of Professor X, especially considering he's like, he's not the guy that I would think of to be Professor X. Moreover, he's not bald. He actually has quite a lot of hair. So we'll see if that baldness swag can transfer to his performance of Professor X. Maybe he'll get bald by the end of the film. Who knows?
Right.
Indy as Rogue, honestly, a great pick. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I saw people complaining about it. They wanted others, but like, I don't mind. I don't mind it. I think she has the chops for it. Yeah, bro. They wanted Kaylee Spady, which I'm sure she would have been great as well. But
it's the Gooners.
Yeah, man. What are you gonna do? And other than that, there aren't really any of the other cast members. Like, I'm just like, yeah. They're all good. They're all interesting. They all seem like they could fit the role, and in general, I'm hype. What about you?
Yeah. Overall, I'm pretty happy with what we got. I will say half of these we did get like leaked or rumored, or reported on beforehand, which is a little unfortunate, but it's okay. Let's see. Christopher Abbott is Professor X. I don't necessarily mind that. I like Christopher Abbott. I just have to see what the vision is for this Professor X before I can really make an opinion. But I hope. I don't know. I think he's a great actor, so I don't really mind that. Kit Connor as Cyclops, we spoke about that last week. Wouldn't have been my main choice, but whatever. Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, like it. Indy Navarrete as Rogue. I like it. I don't mind. We have been hearing that she was meeting with Jake Schreier, the director. Although I can't help but think she would have been a better Mystique. Unfortunately, I have to say it.
Sure. I mean, I honestly, I don't know. I think Indy Navarrete is a little too bubbly of an actress. I think you do need someone a little bit more slick and sly for Mystique a little bit. Although I don't see I see where you could get Indy Navarrete as Mystique, but I honestly think Rogue makes a little bit more sense. I don't know. Honestly, it could have been either, but I'm happy with the way that Rogue is. But I see what you're saying about Mystique as well.
Yeah. I'm also now realizing that this list I have is missing Samara Weaving. So after Indy Navarrete, I'll talk about Samara Weaving as what's it called? Emma Frost. Although I'm pretty sure we did also already talk about that one. Great casting. Adam Driver's Mr. Sinister really is the one that excites me because they have been wanting Adam Driver for so long. And I'm sure the money wasn't, a small factor. I'm sure he's getting paid a shit ton of money. But I can't help but feel that there's something about the script that got him to take it, which is really, really exciting. I really like Mr. Sinister. I think he's a cool character, so I'm excited.
Same.
Yeah, and then Maya Boyd as Storm. I have two things I want to talk about with this. Very happy Storm is in the movie. I did not initially think she would be in the movie. Just because I thought that they were going like the super classic original 5, and then obviously Storm isn't part of that, so I figured that they might like save her for a sequel, or even like introduce her in Black Panther 3 and then have her in the sequel or whatever it may be. But I am not upset at all that she's in this. I'm super actually excited, and that means I'll probably see her twice in 2028 because she's probably going to be in Black Panther 3, as the rumors have been saying for a while now. Second thing is that I think it's really cool that they went with at least one kind of, I don't want to say nobody because she isn't a nobody. She was big on Broadway, but this is going to be her first movie credit. So she is an unproven star, and she's an unproven star, and I think that's really interesting, and it must mean that she has something very special for the character that they saw when searching for it. So I'm very excited on that. I'm looking forward to seeing her take on Storm. My questions I'm left with is what X-Men are yet to be cast. I can't help but pray we get an Iceman. I really, really want Iceman. And I would like Angel. Those are the two that I really hope that we're going to have in this movie that are yet to be cast.
Yeah, I mean there
Do
are
you have?
rumors of Charles Melton being played or playing Beast, which I also wouldn't mind. I know you're not the biggest Charles Melton fan, but I think that'd be dope. I'm not gonna lie.
That would be
Um,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, I don't know if I don't think we're gonna get a Wolverine in this movie. I would like a Wolverine, maybe like just a
No,
peek of it.
I don't think we're gonna get him. I think that's something you do for a sequel. That's like that's the big draw for the sequel.
Yeah, or just honestly like a solo Wolverine movie also makes sense. Other than that, I'm struggling to think of like other X-Men that I particularly care about. Also, I'm just like not the biggest X-Men fan to begin with. But I don't know, maybe the Blob or that orange blob guy, the orange slime guy. I think that'd be cool. Not orange, purple, that's what I meant. And other than them, no, honestly, I would like a more focused film, a more focused like X-Men film with just like the starting, the like the first ones to arrive to Xavier's School of Gifted Youngsters or whatever. Seeing how that kind of whole story evolves, which I think is what they're gonna go for. Um, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I think seeing Iceman and Angel would be dope. Also Mystique would be nice as well. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know, maybe Juggernaut, that'd be cool too. Oh, Gambit, I would love to see
Ooh.
Gambit also. And Jubilee, I think Jubilee would be really nice, but I also don't know if we're gonna get I feel like they're definitely leaving space for more X-Men to be introduced, and
Yeah,
whether they make it a sequel or a threequel or whatever it is.
for sure.
I just think Jubilee would be nice to see as well.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I do agree. There's so many characters that they can choose from.
For sure.
I think if I had to guess, they'd probably say Gambit, Wolverine,
Oh, also,
Mystique.
how could I also forget my goat Nightcrawler? I would love to see Nightcrawler. Bro, give me a solo
Ooh.
animated Nightcrawler movie. It doesn't have to be animated. So give me a solo Nightcrawler movie. I'm the happiest man in the world, bro.
Do
Honestly,
you
I
think
would love it.
Magneto's in the movie? Do you think we're gonna get Magneto in this one?
You might get a tease of him, but probably not. They're probably saving Magneto for either the X-Men big bad or the Marvel big bad. Like he could be our next Doctor Doom. He could be
Mm,
our next Thanos.
that would be sick. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I could see a world where that happens. Now, the question is, how much of the lore of both Magneto and Professor X are we keeping? How bold does Marvel really want to go? I would love full boldness. I would love for them to keep the whole lore. But listen, this is Marvel, so you know what?
Right.
We'll
I
see how much
think
they sanitize.
here's my take on it. I think Magneto's history is such a core element of the character that you can't change it. You can't change the event that it's based on. I think it has to be the Holocaust just because it's so influential to
Right,
who
right.
he is and his beliefs as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think you make it that his gene, like his power slows aging, him and Charles. I think that's how you do it. It's the simplest explanation. They have slow aging, or
Yeah, that'd be.
at least Magneto, because um, they better not change that. I would have a really big problem with that. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
that'd
lie.
be. I mean, yeah, especially during current day, that would be insane. I also don't think
You
Marvel wants that sort of flack either.
no, you don't want that, and it's just you're changing the core of the character, like actually.
Yeah, man. I mean, we'll have to see when it actually comes out. I just know that like these next few years at Marvel HQ is going to be incredibly interesting, just because they're really going into their more I guess pathos heavy characters. So seeing
I'm
what sort of
excited.
decisions
Some
they
great
make.
stories are gonna come. I'm really excited.
Absolutely. And we're already getting a tease of it with like Brand New Day and stuff like that. Like,
Oh,
oh boy, oh boy, what a
it's great.
whirlwind, what a roller coaster we're gonna be
Yeah,
on to.
yeah. It's great. Um, let's see. Other D23 stuff I wanted to touch on. This is gonna be more on the Disney side. Zootopia 3 is officially in the works. It's gonna be following Birds, as was teased at the end of the film. A couple other movie release dates. We know that Frozen 3 is going to be releasing in theaters November 2027. Incredibles 3 is releasing in theaters June 2028. And then Coco 2 is going to release in theaters November 2029. which does not sound like a real year, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. It's crazy to think about how far that is. Also, I have a few words to say about Incredibles 3, being that Incredibles 1 is my favorite movie of all time as of now. They're focusing a lot more on they said that the first movie was focused on Bob, second movie was focused on Helen, third movie is going to be focused on the kids proving themselves as heroes. It's going to be very interesting what they do, especially considering that Brad Bird will not be directing this. I think there is potential without Brad Bird, just because like he did direct Incredibles 2 and I did not love that. I think some of this story, I think the focusing on the kids will be an interesting factor. I would have loved a time skip, but Pixar or moreover, I feel like the Disney refuses to do that, so we'll just have to deal with that. I just hope they don't retread new ground, because even with the announcement that they gave of like, oh, Bob is like struggling to find his place in this new world of supers where it's like legal now. I'm like, I feel like that's Incredibles 2, and I even feel like that's some of Incredibles 1. I don't know. I mean, and they're also going to be like focusing also on the superhero league that was like created in Incredibles 2, which I'm like, that's also retreading Incredibles 2. So like, what's the difference here? You know what I mean? They tease the new villain without saying anything about the new villain other than they're a super. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna be heavily skeptical about Incredibles 3, but we'll have to see how that turns out.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat with you. I'm incredibly
Incredibly.
incredibly what's the word? Like I'm uh fuck, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Cautiously optimistic.
Um yes, cautiously optimistic, not incredibly. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think if done well, it could be really fun. If it's more like Incredibles 1 than it is like Incredibles 2, I think it could be fun. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to brush on, but I'm sure there's a couple things I missed. So I'll let you take the floor and go ahead.
Defo. So I'll just cover the movie and entertainment news real quickly. We got our first look at Vision Quest, releasing on October 14th on Disney Plus. Did you see the trailer for this?
So I didn't, but that's only because I know I'm gonna watch it anyway, because I'm actually really into the WandaVision like trio of shows. I really liked
Sure.
WandaVision. I really, really liked Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna watch this anyway. I've seen some images. Um, I just kind of with these shows, I like kind of going in and being surprised. So I didn't really want to know everything that's
Yeah.
going on. So I don't have context for the images. So I didn't see the trailer. Is what I'm getting at. But I think the poster looks really cool.
Mm.
I'm really excited. By the way, did you see they added Paul Bettany to New
Yeah.
York Comic Con?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's interesting. Maybe we could like check him out, bro. Like that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I wonder, does that happen? Oh no, that happens like right before Vision Quest.
And
Like we're
and
going right before it comes out.
yeah, and it's the same day. Like he's only there one day, and it's the day that we're going. So I feel like there might be a
Nice.
Vision Quest panel. I wouldn't be surprised. Which we should totally go if there is. That'd be really sick.
Oh, oh for sure. Like it'd be a nice it'd be nice to go and like check him out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But I did see the
Hello,
trailer for. Oh, give me one second.
hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right, you're
Yeah,
back.
sorry about that. I just connected to different headphones. What was I saying? Yeah, I mean, it'd be really cool to check out Paul Bettany at New York Comic Con. Maybe like give him like try to make him spoil the show for us. But I did see the trailer for Vision Quest, and I'm just like, I understand why it took them so long to market or to show us this movie. One, because I don't think they want to confuse it with the marketing of Doomsday and Brand New Day, but also because I just think it's such a weird show to market. Not that they haven't been successful with it with Agatha and WandaVision, but especially for Vision Quest, it's just it would make more sense if you saw the trailer, which I'm not gonna tell you to, especially if you're gonna if you already know you're gonna watch it. But for those who did see the trailer, it's just like a bunch of people standing around in like a weirdly lit house, and all of these people talk super like, I mean, robotic, obviously, because that's what the characters are. Um, I'm excited for the show, regardless. Like, I've been excited for the show for a while. I have enjoyed both WandaVision and Agatha, but it's just such a weird show that I feel like they don't know what they're doing with, and they don't know how to market. We'll see. We'll see what turns out of it. So yeah, we also got a announcement for Lilo and Stitch 2 live action, which they will be basing off the straight to DVD live action, the straight to DVD movie from
I
Lilo
did
and
hear
Stitch.
about that. I did hear about that.
We're officially making live action based on straight to DVD. So we're in a new era of slot, bro. New slot plus. That's what we're calling it.
Unprecedented territories
Unprecedented territory.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, listen, it could be. I feel like I keep saying this, but it could be interesting. But especially because I don't know. No, it's not. It's really not. The only reason Lilo and Stitch is getting a sequel is because it made $1 billion. That's why Moana isn't getting a sequel or any other movie, for that matter. But whatever. We also got a new look at a new announced film from Disney Animation called Clay, starring Kieran Culkin, which will be releasing in November 2028.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, they released like one concept art. It's weird. Apparently, here, let me see if I can pull up a log line. Follows a terrible mentor who must look after a newborn ball of clay. The one piece of concept art they released is cute. It's interesting. It's kind of comic-y, like comic strip kind of styled-y a little bit, at least with the main character. I wish, I don't know, I feel like Disney is also kind of like focusing a lot on the worlds around their story instead of like the characters. Moreover, like I feel like we're getting that with Strange New World and also like their last original animated film, which I can't remember right now.
Elio, right?
Yeah, Elio. Like I feel like all of those movies are more like trying to sell you on the surroundings of the main character instead of like the personal journey. I'm afraid that this is what we're getting also with Clay. I mean, mind you, this is all based off one piece of concept art, but I can just tell like the concept art is very here. Let me see if I can send it to the chat so you can like know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. Regardless, I am interested, and Kieran Culkin is a very nice actor who I like seeing in things. So
yeah, he's great.
So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. And also, this is one of my most excited pieces of news from D23. Is we got a first look at the long talked about Oswald series, animated miniseries.
Oh, I knew you were going to be excited for this.
Hell yeah, I'm a Oswald fan till I die, bro.
Yes,
Especially the fact that this film is a hybrid. It's a 3-part miniseries. Beautiful. It's hybrid original 2D animation. Beautiful, starring Oswald. He's just like a cute little guy. Seemingly, what I'm getting from the story is just like he's like running around Walt Disney Studios and like the parks and like I guess discovering. I don't know. I'm sure there is an actual story to it, but it's hype. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm super interested in it. I just love Oswald, and weirdly enough, I feel like Jon Favreau has like a lot of passion for this strange little project. So let's see what it turns out.
It does look interesting. I am looking forward to watching it. So I'm excited to talk about it with you whenever it does drop.
For sure. And just like one final or a few final things, I did want to. This is separated from film and TV, but this is also released on D23. I wanted to talk about some amusement park stuff real quick. We got an announcement that they're reworking Tomorrowland for Disneyland. Long awaited, long hyped, very cool. I would love to see new ideas being built for Tomorrowland since it has been pretty static.
It's a little outdated, yeah.
It's definitely a little outdated, so we'll see what they come up with that. I'm super hype. We also got a new look at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom's Villains Land, which I honestly didn't know how much they were gonna keep going for it, seeing as Epic Universe's the land was created in reaction to Epic Universe's Dark Universe, and also that land in itself in Epic Universe is not very successful. It doesn't get a lot of foot traffic overall, so I honestly thought they were gonna like pull back on that idea, but seems like they're going full throttle. We got a Maleficent coaster and also a Magic Mirror boat ride. Overall, I'm very excited for this land regardless. It seems very interesting. I was always into the idea to begin with. So yeah, we'll just have to see what comes out of that. We got some
Yeah,
concept
I
art.
think I did see the concept art for that, and I did see it for the
Mm-hmm.
Avengers thing. I don't know if you're going to talk about that, but I think
For Adventures Campus,
yeah,
I did not. I do not. But if you want, you can talk about it.
no, yeah, I just think it all looks pretty cool. I think right now is a super cool time for theme parks, like in general, both Universal and Disney. I just drove by, like I was in downtown Orlando today, and I
Mm-hmm.
drove by like the Universal like area, and I saw like the peak of the Fast and Furious like coaster that they're building,
Mm.
and it looks really cool. So
Oof. Exciting stuff, definitely, to be a theme park fan overall. And the one last piece of theme park news, and pretty much all the news that I have, I believe, is we're finally, this is kind of like deep lore elite ball knowledge stuff, so like, let me put y'all on game real quick. So in Disneyland Paris, there is a version of Space Mountain. Right now it's called, I believe, Hyperspace Mountain. It's based on like Star Wars IP, but it's a unique version of Space Mountain that is not that exists very separate from the ones that we have here in the States. Um, it was originally based off Jules Verne's story from the trip to the moon, or from the Earth to the moon, or something like that. Then they remodeled it as years went by, to make it more popular. Like I said, it was changed to Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain. But in this D23, they announced that they are remodeling it back to its original story, back to its original idea with its original music. Um, it's incredible, super beautiful. I recommend the Defunctland video of Space Mountain de la Tierra a la Lune, which is the original name for it, which they're also returning to. But
oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
yeah. It's I recommend that Defunctland video, and whenever that ride opens up, whenever they finish that refurbishing, I recommend everyone go to Paris and fucking ride that ride, just because it seems interesting. I'm definitely gonna go to that ride at some point. It's very interesting stuff, and overall, I'm gonna ask you your actually what did you think of this D23 overall, Alon?
I thought it was really cool. I am what's it called? I do wish that D23 happened every year, like every other year it is when it happens, and then
Mm,
in the intermediate years, it's like the Destination D23 where it's like the more boring um, version, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited for the next one because I feel like not next year, but the one after. Uh, at that point, we're going to be deep into the reboot, and so I think that we might have some crazy announcements. But just looking at
mm,
what we currently have, it was good. I think it was what we expected.
for sure. Yeah, I mean, it was what
Nothing too crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but it's what we expected.
it's what we expected. I will say that I really did enjoy the C23. It's nothing. It's what we expected, but also to get the amount of things that we expected, and to get like for it to be as the good news that it was, is something that we don't really see. I think this new direction that Disney is going into is very interesting, very just like exciting, and I think they're finally listening to audiences, to the people who actually pay them money, their longtime fans or whatever, and it's an exciting time to be a Disney fan for both entertainment and theme park attractions. So yeah, we'll just have to see what actually bears fruit in the future, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff overall.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move into what we watched. I'll start. Lanterns premiered last night. Did you have a chance to check that out?
I did not, but you can go ahead and talk about it.
I thought I thought it was fine. Nothing crazy. Um, I saw a lot of people who were loving it, and I wish I could love it, but I just wish it was a regular Green Lantern show. It was just I don't know. I'm gonna let it cook because I think it's the type of show that has to cook. I got to see
Sure.
where it's gonna go because there's a lot that gets set up, um, and it does end on a huge cliffhanger. So I'm curious to see what it is.
How much of it is like, I guess the celestial story, and how much is it is like the grounded story of what's going on?
So far, there's no. I wouldn't say there's any celestial stuff yet. There's some like alien talk, but nothing celestial just yet.
Damn. So the whole first episode is pretty grounded, earthbound. That's
Yeah,
it's a little depressing. Not gonna
yeah,
lie.
that's what I'm saying. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm
Yeah,
gonna stick with it because I have heard it gets really good. So
we'll see. We'll see. I guess. I mean, I'll definitely watch it by next episode. I've just been busy, but we'll. I'm sure. Is it dropping every Monday, right? Or every
Sunday
Sunday?
night.
Sunday night.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we'll have to see about that one. It definitely does seem like this a slower paced show. That's what they're going for. I did hear a lot of high reviews for it, so that seems interesting. But we're getting all this X-Men stuff, and then and then James Gunn wants to drop Lanterns.
yeah.
Uh,
It's a little. I just feel distracted, to be
yeah, yeah,
honest.
yeah. It's just so low scope. You know what I mean? So low
Yeah.
hype. So we'll just have to wait for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I did watch a few things this week, but nothing that I haven't talked about before. It's all been rewatches so far.
Hmm.
So if you've seen anything else this week, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I guess last thing I'll touch on before we move into the main review. I watched like the 10-year anniversary re-release of La La Land in
Mm.
theaters. It was
Mm-hmm.
my first time seeing it in theaters. It was very fun. It was in the Dolby Theater, so it was like the nice big speakers, the nice comfortable seats. I had a great time. That movie is so visually stunning, and seeing it on the big screen um, was just like an incredible experience. I really liked it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I wish I could have watched that in theaters. It feels like it genuinely
Yeah.
feels like a religious experience seeing that
Yeah.
on the
No,
big
no.
screen.
I've been wanting to see it in theaters for so long, and then I got the opportunity, and I like bought the tickets like when they first went on sale, and I completely forgot about it, and then I got the reminder that I had to go see it, or that I got to go see it yesterday, and I was like, oh,
Mm.
okay, guess that's what I'm doing today, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Sounds fun. I wish, like I said, I wish I could have gone.
So yeah, so let's move into the main review. I'll start with a quick spoiler-free summary off the internet, and then we'll talk spoiler-free, and then spoilers. Here we go. A mysterious cosmic event rips Oak Street from suburbia and transports a neighborhood to someplace unknown. The Platt family soon discovers that their very survival depends on sticking together as they navigate their now unrecognizable surroundings. Nick, what did you think of the end of Oak Street?
I liked it well enough. I didn't love it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good time. But it didn't really cross that border into being like a generational film for me. Not every film has to, obviously. But it was definitely a fun time. I would recommend it for like general audiences, families. If you want to watch something other than Spider-Man and Paw Patrol, something with a little bit more edge to it, then I would definitely recommend it. But I honestly also don't have that much to really say about it, just because it's a pretty straightforward film, and then the parts that aren't straightforward are also kind of forgotten about as well. We'll talk about that more in spoilers, but yeah, I mean, I thought everybody did a good job in terms of like the acting. I thought the effects were really nice with the dinosaurs. Um, I thought the story in itself, or I was what is the word I'm looking for? I was compelled, I guess, or like I was interested in like the personal narratives of each of like the family as a whole, which in turn like kind of did make me feel a little betrayed by how the film ends, a little bit. But yeah, honestly, overall, a good time at the movies. Nothing crazy, but we need these type of movies. We need these type of like mid budget, lower stakes, just kind of enjoyable films. Like I do wish it was more successful, in the box office, but we'll just have to see the time. Elon, what did you think of End of Oak Street?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just fine. I wasn't crazy about it. uh, it kind of just felt like Jurassic Park X Back to the Future, you know?
Sure,
Uh,
sure.
yeah, I thought it was just fine. I thought, some fine performances. I liked Ewan McGregor and Hathaway. They're likable actors. I'll watch them in anything. I thought the family was interesting enough. Like you said, the VFX were fine. I just feel like the script was a little underwritten.
Yeah.
Some of the dialogue was wonky, and what we were seeing, I feel like, was done more interesting in Jurassic Park. Like nothing we're doing here is crazy. There's one thing that happens towards the end that I did not see coming. That was pretty fun, and that's when I would say the
Hmm.
movie was at its most interesting. And we'll get into that, but overall, it was just fine. Produced by J.J. Abrams, directed by
Has the stink of it.
David. Yeah, David. What's his name?
David Robert Mitchell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just fine. It's one type like I feel like I'm in the same boat as you. Where I really don't have much to say. Like it's like a movie I'm going to forget about by tomorrow and probably never ever think about again.
I mean, I don't know if I'd forget about it. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. I did enjoy it. I do think there is like a space in like this world today for a movie like this. I'm also kind of surprised by the reaction that this is getting online because I've been seeing some people online like really hate this film.
I've seen
Um,
people online love it. Really, I've seen a lot
and
of
that's it.
positivity about it.
And that's the thing. Well, I've seen both. I've seen both sides of the coin, both hate, extreme hate, and extreme love. And I'm like, I don't understand either of these positions. I don't think this film could really garner that much of a reaction from me on either side. And I think we're living in this weird time of filmmaking where for a movie to do like to really give you to have an impact on like both the box office and just like general audiences, um, it has to be like either a grand spectacle or a grand shit show. And people are people are no longer like lukewarm about films, or people can't just enjoy an average like B plus movie. I think they need to like there's this need to have some sort of great reaction for it when like sometimes not everything is worth it. um do you want to go into spoilers?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do it. If you haven't seen the movie and you plan to, now's a good time to click off.
Yeah, so I will agree with you that like definitely that was the most interesting aspect when I believe you're referring to when when Ewan McGregor died.
Yeah,
um
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do love how graphic that was. Like we that guy that we see his whole fucking leg getting chopped off, and then he just
I
like,
did like the gore in the movie. I thought like there was
yeah.
some like they didn't shy away from that stuff.
Yeah, that was really nice. And also just like how impactful that was to the family. I thought I wish we did a little bit focus more on like how much that did impact the family, both like seeing them, but I guess spending more time on that wasn't really the most necessary thing in the world either. um I also I would say my biggest issue with the film is just like how many questions it leaves unanswered, more than just like the wonky dialogue too. I thought it was a little bit more forgivable because like these are like 80, this is like an 80s family, so like I could see a world where like an 80s family kind of talks like this in like a weird like way. I don't know. It was more forgiving about that. But what I really didn't appreciate was I didn't need like a full lore explanation on like the bubble thing, on the bubble time loop, but I would have liked some sort of like, a little like subtle indication as to like what's going on, or like something akin to that. And also with the ending of them being transported back in time, and then Anne Hathaway's character is like calling the dad to be like, hey, like come here so I can like save you, and then like leaving that other family, because we do see that like they essentially go into like a different timeline with like the same characters as like other people. So kind of like Anne Hathaway not giving a fuck about that other family and just calling the dad and just being like, yo, come here, like leave them and like just be here. I was like, well, that seems a little bit unsympathetic of a move for a character who seems quite sympathetic to begin with. Uh, and it also kind of feels like it's undermining the previous decision of the film itself. Um, yeah, I don't know. I didn't love that aspect. I don't know. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I did find it weird how they didn't really address how they pretty much just fucked over that family. They kind of did
Yeah.
just gloss over that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm glad that you brought that up. I other than that little detail, I would say the ending was fine. It's like what you expect, I
Mm.
guess. Like I feel like the third act climax of them like dealing with those flying dinosaurs as they try to jump into the bubble.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if that's the most interesting thing to do for your dinosaur third act,
yeah.
climax, but that's what I keep saying. Like it was just fine. Nothing out of nothing crazy, nothing of note. Just fine.
I did think like we were gonna have to deal like I thought we were gonna have like a whole other third act, essentially like the like what happens in Jurassic Park 3, I believe, where like, oh my god, the dinosaurs are in our world now and we're gonna have to deal with that. But all of that kind of gets like brushed under the rug quickly with like a quick news report and just like the military
Yeah,
dealing with it.
like
I would
it's
have
all
loved
very
a little bit more
safe.
story there. Yeah, it's pretty safe. And I also think it just like it focuses a lot on like Anne Hathaway's personal journey with which isn't really that interesting to begin with. She just wants to become a writer and kind of wants to abandon her family, and it's just like, okay, well, she doesn't end up doing it to begin with, so like, who cares? Um, yeah, overall, I definitely thought the most interesting aspects of the film was like in that beginning of second act where we see the family like grappling with the situation of like, oh my god, we're in this dinosaur world. How are we gonna do? Um, and like I said, there's also like just unanswered questions or left about plot lines, especially with like the kid and the dad's like addiction aspect, which is kind of just forgotten, and
Yeah,
the whole like believing in God or like Christianity thing was also kind of left forgotten.
like
Uh,
they want to have these ideas, but they don't go fully all the way with anything. They don't really
for
commit.
sure.
Which is what I mean by the script is very underwritten.
Yeah, yeah, I could agree with that for sure. There's also like that whole like daughter and friend aspect of like potential relationship that also gets completely left under the rug. It
I
does
wonder
feel
if a lot
like,
got cut from this movie because it is very short. It's only an hour 40.
yeah,
And I think it really could have benefited from an extra 20-25 minutes.
it's also quite interesting considering David Robert Mitchell. I haven't seen It Follows, but I have seen Under the Silver Lake, his previous film before this one, which is it isn't an incredibly graphic film, but it is I believe rated R, and it does touch on like like some of the subject matter that it touches on in the film is like properly treated. It's also kind of like left into conspiracy, without giving too much away about Under the Silver Lake. It's about like Andrew Garfield like discovering conspiracies about L.A. Through like clues and hints, eventually finding out like the darker secret of the music slash entertainment industry in general. Um, and that film I thought was very interesting, even though obviously that one doesn't give a lot away either in terms of like answers, but it definitely gives more of a journey and more of like an intriguing plot line. This one, I could see a world where there was where it was a lot more written, but because maybe the studio wanted that wider family audience, they cut some
Hmm.
aspects out just
I could see
well
that.
to reach
I
that.
could I could really see that. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, which would be disappointing, but it
Yeah.
also, like you said, makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I mean, would you recommend this movie?
Yeah, I think it's just fine. If you like dinosaur movies, it's
It fits the bill.
it's a good especially if you're watching on streaming. I wouldn't go to the theaters to see it, but
Yeah,
if it goes on, it's gonna probably go on. It's Warner Bros. So it'll go on Max. So yeah, it's a decent time to put on, especially if you like Anne Hathaway or Ewan McGregor. Then it's definitely worth it.
same. I would agree.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, that's it for episode 51 of Popcorn Problem. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and if you made it this far, you're the real MVP. We'll be back next week reviewing the Anthony Bourdain biopic Tony. In the meantime, you can hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of the end of Oak Street. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Have a good one.